Hey, yo guys, this is Jared, aka The Saint of Sins, coming at you with this special video to catch you up on some plans for new videos coming soon. The focus right now is going to be squarely on MLB The Show 17 and the upcoming MLB The Show 18 title next spring. What I'm hoping to do is get your feedback on what team I should start investing my time learning the farm system and top prospects of so that I can fill out a franchise series. The goal will be to run with the team for 5 seasons, and depending on the success of those 5 seasons, I'll either extend the series with that franchise for a few more seasons or look elsewhere to another poorly run team in need of a general manager. Your feedback determines whether or not I get to extend my run with the original franchise and for how long before I have to renew as the team's GM. Essentially, I'm giving you the keys as the owner of the series and the team. But before we can get to the 2018 season, we have to wrap up the current season. While Major League Baseball is currently in the playoff stages, with 8 teams clashing in the divisional series, this series will be starting from spring training of the 2017 season and rolling as quickly as possible to get to the all-important offseason, where my job will be to make the moves necessary for the starting franchise's roster heading into spring training. Signing free agents will be crucial to starting the series on the right foot and for elaborating on a game plan for how to mold the team into a contender, if not an outright world champion. Speaking of, this is where your participation is important. You get to decide what team this series will start following. I've looked around and thought about a lot of teams and what I'd like to do with them, some ranging from being more competitive now than others. Some of those teams were on the verge of playoff berths this season, such as the Milwaukee Brewers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And another team on my list was the current AL Central champion Cleveland Indians. While I'm open to your suggestions on what teams I should look into, I'm going to try and limit this voting process to just a handful of teams. These are the ball clubs I've thought about a lot and have settled upon for placing onto this poll. To vote, all you have to do is leave a comment down below with one of the 5 team names you think this series should focus on for the next 5 seasons. It's just that simple. So without further ado, here are your selections. Coming off of an early postseason exit just this past week against the Arizona Diamondbacks, you can vote for this series to start out with the Colorado Rockies. The main reason I'm drawn to this team is the young pitching, but the explosive, possible 2017 National League MVP, third baseman Nolan Arenado. Plus, they're kind of my home team. Let's go Rocks. With an explosive burst of power, slamming 13 home runs in 18 games just before going down with injury to end his 2017 rookie season, Matt Olson has drawn my eye towards the Oakland Athletics. I'm also curious to see what can be done with the pitching staff since removing Sonny Gray from the roster. Staying in the American League, after seasons of battling on and off for a wildcard berth in the tough East Division, the Baltimore Orioles are an intriguing pickup, what with Manny Machado and Zach Britton becoming free agents at the end of the 2018 season. The prospect of re-signing either of these players is nice, but should that fail, we have the flexibility to trade them off before the deadline. Plus, we still have Trey Mancini to look forward to developing for the next 5 seasons while he's under control. And like a moth eternally drawn to the flame, as if I'm forever going to remain tied to this team I took an interest in a decade ago, Neil Hunnidin's continued works with the Pittsburgh Pirates finds their way on this list. Much like Baltimore, the Pirates have an interesting dilemma ahead of them this offseason as Andrew McCutchen bounced back in a big way to revive his stock as a trade chip after a miserable 2016 season. Becoming a free agent at the end of the 18 season, if we haven't traded him by the deadline, could maintain an era in the franchise with one of its few stars. Failure to re-sign him would just open up finances to help build around budding star first baseman Josh Bell. And with a limited budget, all pennies could make the difference between one-and-done playoff berths and serious contendership for the title. Finally, while the city is still enjoying the spoils of being called the defending champions until their teams exit from the playoffs, we're actually looking south side of the Windy City. Surprisingly enough, entering into the 2016 season, I looked into the Chicago White Sox farm system and fell in love with the possibilities of how to turn this team around in what was looking to be a sharp and competitive division in the American League Central. And here they are still looking like a team I'm highly interested in picking up because of Carlos Rondon. But then came the Chris Sale trade that brought in Yoan Moncada, and suddenly the White Sox are this peculiar team that have a clear direction in power hitting, with young hurlers trying to fill the void that Sale has left behind. So those are the options. Where do you want to see this series go? Are we rolling with the Rockies, Athletics, Orioles, Pirates, or will it be the White Sox? Make your vote now. All games of the 2017 season for this series will be live streamed here on the channel. Don't worry about missing any of the action, as I'll try and update on major events that may affect the free agent market or the 2018 season. And don't worry, I won't leave you guys hanging for another 3 years before the next upload. I promise. I need the money.